सुदे नमस्तुभ्यं भरते कामरूपिणी विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धे भवतु मे सदा वसुदेवं सुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं हरि ओम् कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं. Can someone recollect anything that we saw last? We had stopped at shloka number 35. Yes, please. So we found the link and move ahead. Anybody? Yes, absolutely anything.
We should follow our own nature rather than imitate somebody's nature just because we are pleased by it. It's better to follow our own nature and introspect so that we can really see it. And then, even if you want to reach somewhere or be like somebody, it can be like more authentic. Yeah, to start
Okay.
from what our nature is. Yeah.
So what vibes with us? What syncs with us? Something which is from our heart, we kind of relish it, or something which really connects. We must do that, and it's all right even if it is not grand or bhavya or too brilliant, but just doing it. Krishna so beautifully says, "Swadharmat nidhanam shreya, paradharmo bhayavaha." Means follow your swadharma and try to rise through that. That is one thing which Krishna shared. Yes, anybody else? Anything else? Yes, Mitaji.
He was also he tried to differentiate between the ignorant and the wise ones, and
Yeah.
that you use the term na buddhi bedhan means don't try and change the other
Create a
person.
divide.
Yeah,
Divide in the
yeah,
buddhi.
yeah.
Okay.
So
Eventually.
yeah,
Yes, so that way we can work without conflicts, isn't it?
yes,
Oppositions are going to be there, but not every opposition should become a point of conflict.
conflict.
It's like
Yes,
we can sometimes agree to disagree. There is always possible, given the greater picture, and the
yeah,
greater picture for us should always be driven by the aspiration for loka sangraha, which is betterment of the world. So for
well,
betterment of the world, probably you can take one step back. It's all right. But at the same time, never lose your swadharma. It's a very interesting thin line which we have to identify. And Krishna has shared this. But then comes a very interesting question from Arjuna. I think Kunalji was just sharing something yesterday before the session, and today we are going to hear Arjuna share exactly the same thing. So Krishna talked to Arjuna about an inherent divinity, a divinity which is universal, which is individual also. If you sync with that, you can grow, you can evolve, you can become free, you can be so free that you'll keep doing wonderful works and you'll become free from any karma bandhana. Krishna gave an example of Janaka. Krishna gave an example of himself. Arjuna, be like this. But Arjuna is asking a different question totally. He says, divinity is inside human beings. He's like, I don't have one, I have 20 question marks after this statement. How is it? How do you say divinity is inside human beings? That is Arjuna's question. Let us see what is it that Arjuna exactly asks. It is the shloka number 36 of the third adhyaya. Arjuna uvacha अथ केन प्रयुक्तोऽयं पापं चरति पुरुषः अनिच्छन्नपि वार्ष्णेय बलादिव नियोजितः. When you're telling, saying, follow your inner feelings, don't crush. Likes and dislikes are okay. Don't suppress. But he says, what is it inside of individuals that is making them sin? He says this way. I'll just repeat the shloka and we'll go to its meaning. Atha kena prayuktoyam papam chariti purushaha अनिच्छन्नपि वर्षणीय बलादिव नियोजितः. Arjuna asked, so what is it that provokes man to sin? and act against his will, thus against his own kin. Wherefrom does the force arise to rebel? O descendant of Vrishni, please tell. So, we heard about a great divine spirit inside everybody, which is eternal. But if all these things are there, you are saying you have to have self control, but what is it inside of the individual? What is it provoking a man to do sin? What is it making him go against his own swadharma? Why is he going against his own people? Where is this force coming from which is making it rebel against that inherent divinity inside and do sinful acts? Tell me, O Krishna. Anybody, what do you think of this question of Arjuna? Is he negating what Krishna told so far with this question? Is he being skeptical?
He is in a way negating him. He is saying, you're saying there's a divine inside, but then
Yeah.
where is the divine when people are doing wrong? Yeah. Why isn't it? Hmm.
Yes. He is negating it by logic, but he is not skeptical. He's seeking. He says, Krishna, I know you'll have the answer. Tell it to me, Krishna. This is exactly what I don't understand. He says, where is this force coming from? Oh, descendant. Oh, like he says, Varshneya. That is another name for Krishna. Descendant of Vrishni. Oh, Varshneya, please tell me. How is it possible? So it's not that he's closed. He wants to know. He wants to understand. But one thing is certain, isn't it? Whether or not Arjuna understands, somewhere Arjuna's depression is going away, no? He is now forgetting this entire sorrow and depression. Right now, he is some kind of, because when you are depressed, you don't want to know anything. You don't care about anything. You close yourself from everything. And yet, somewhere in that, Krishna found one small opening and he caught that opening. And now he's leading Arjuna towards light. Arjuna is seeking in his sorrow. He's still not losing the status of a seeker. That is important. Difficult moments will come. Let's not stop seeking. Many times it's not a problem. God question comes to everybody. Everybody feels is God there, is God not there. It does not, the question should not end. That is the important thing. The question should remain. So many ones have got experience. It's all right. You don't know if God is there or not. It's okay. Be an agnostic. But don't jump the gun immediately as if life is complete, experiences are over. Keep that channel open. A lot of great yogis and philosophers were at sometimes not non-believers of the divine, which is okay. It is a journey. So the seeking should not stop. Even Swami Vivekananda, if you remember his story of life, it was like initially he was questioning the existence of divinity. अगर तुम हो तो ये क्यों है? If you are there, why is all this? So something similar we see. It is not a skeptical question, it is a seeker's question, but it is also true that he is just negating the rationale of Krishna because I don't understand it. This is there, why is this? Sri Bhagavan Uvacha Kama Esha Krodha Esha Rajo Guna Samudbhavaha Mahashano Mahapapma Vidhenamiha Vairinam. Krishna answered, it is desire and its furious sibling, anger, born from the quality rajas. They are related to one another, all ensnaring and all polluting. They cause life to go in vain. These are the two greatest enemies that ought to be slain. I repeat it once more. It is desire and its furious sibling, anger, born from the quality rajas. They are related to one another, all ensnaring and all polluting. They cause life to go in vain. These are the two greatest enemies that ought to be slain. Arjuna has many enemies in the battlefield, but his first astra should be aimed at these two enemies only, Kama and Krodha. Kama Esha, Krodha Esha. And Krishna says these are born from gunas, from one guna, which is the Rajo guna or the Rajas. So if you remember, Prakriti is messing with us right before our birth only, making some changes in our factory setting only. We are having the Prakriti's domination. So we have learned that Prakriti works through gunas, and there are three gunas: Rajas, Tamas, and Sattva. So now we are getting introduced to one of these gunas. But let us remember, it's not a full introduction. It's just like we are being shown a visiting card. It's nothing more than that. We will have to get to know Rajas better. Is it only bad? But right now, one bad or dangerous aspect of Rajas is being shown because of this Rajas nature. There is Kama and there is Krodha. And how are Kama and Krodha, desire and anger? They are siblings. It's like you invite one for a party, the other will come along with. You can't separate the two. They are together. What do they do? Krishna says they're all ensnaring, all polluting. They can even make a wonderful life go waste. Haven't we heard of stories of great people getting destroyed, great people going astray because of what? One moment of anger. Just one moment of anger. Can we say, oh, I was angry that time, that's why I just slapped somebody? Can we justify that? Sometimes we even words, you don't have to physically also, sometimes in anger we utter words which break relationships which are sometimes for many decades. Who was doing that? Who was controlling us? We were not in control. It was Rajas. The force of Rajas is like how we say you contract a virus, isn't it? Like that from the atmosphere, some force comes into us and then controls us completely. We lose our control, and that Rajasic force makes us do something unnecessarily. So that is there, and Kama and Krodha both come together, meaning more you have desires, the more restless you'll become, more angry and cranky you will become. And these two, they work in tandem and they cause a wonderful life, a beautiful life to go waste. That is why they are the biggest enemies, Krishna says. So your first fight, no matter even if you have the great Rustam-e-Jahan as your opponent, it does not matter. Your first fight it will have to be against Kama and Krodha. You will have to slay these enemies. That's what Krishna is saying. He goes on further. Dhume na vriyate vanhir yatha darsho malena cha yatholbena vrato garbha tatha tene damagratam. Just as fire is masked by smoke and dust, or like the embryo is sheathed within the amniotic crust. In this manner, similar and precise knowledge is hidden by an outer disguise. I repeat once more. It's a beautiful use of nice metaphors here. Just as fire is masked by smoke and dust, or like the embryo is sheathed within the amniotic crust. In this manner, similar and precise, knowledge is hidden by an outer disguise. You look at a fire. The fire is brilliant, isn't it? Tejoma, it is burning and that light comes out of the fire. But many times there is smoke also. Where has the smoke come from? Anybody? Yeah. Where has the smoke come from?
From the fire.
From the fire only. And what is that smoke doing? It is
It's
masking the
masking.
fire. Sometimes the smoke is so much that in case of some fires, firefighters struggle to even contain because they don't even understand how big the fire is because the brilliant fire is being masked by its smoke. Or just like in a garbha, how embryo is sheathed within the amniotic crust. You cannot see from the outside, isn't it? Inside the garbha is there, but outside you cannot understand. So just like that, Krishna says, knowledge is hidden by an outer disguise. It's very interesting because this is used so easily. This example of garbha is used. It's like people knew about it so much before when the world was in a dark age. We did not understand, did not learn anything. We had garbha sanskar also and so many things. It was like a everyday talk. It was like something which was so common and known that within the garbha the child is there. So just like that, you cannot see from the outside. Like that, knowledge can get covered completely by the disguise, by the hood. Hood of what? The hood created by these rajasic forces of kama and krodha. And when is this battle going to take place? Anybody? When does this battle take place against kama and krodha? When do we have to battle? At what time or what age do we have to battle this? Anybody? Kari, you are muted. I can't hear you. Please unmute if you. Yes, yes.
Every stage. It's un-
Okay. Kalaji says at every stage. Nidhi
Yeah, same. Every time, every day, every instance, we have such answers
we
when
have
we are
to.
encountered by these desires and
Can we say on the
conflict and
initial,
anger.
can we say on the initial days of sadhana or the initial days of the spiritual path, it's a problem, and after we move ahead, it's not a problem?
Mm. After that,
No.
also, we have temptations.
Yes, yes, yes. It is going to be, it is like an eternal enemy. It is like you are born and you have a shadow. Like that, there is man, and man is going to be plagued by these two, all human beings. Shwetaji wants to add something.
Yeah, one moment you lose vigilance and you are caught unaware,
Yeah,
gone.
oh yeah,
Like
completely
yeah,
gone.
yeah. So vigilance is
Yes.
every fraction
So
of
we have to
moment.
be alert. That means we don't have, it's like work is not cut out for us. Something is made a little tough for us. And this is part of Prakriti, isn't it? This is the nature of human beings. Just like how we have 2 ears, 2 eyes, one nose, like that, we have Kama and Krodha also embedded inside. That is why we have to do sadhana to work on these issues in the factory setting. What we call some kind of bugs are there in the software, which has to be removed. That is sadhana. And right now, this is the biggest issue. And Krishna uses a wonderful word for this. They are nitya vairi, eternal enemies. We'll say we pray for long life for a lot of people, but these already they have been blessed with eternity only. They are going to keep attacking. Why? How? What's the logic? We'll see that. Kalaji wants to say something. Yes, ma'am.
what exactly is sadhana now here?
Sadhana has not yet been introduced by Krishna. Sadhana means the spiritual path of what we can say we move ahead, isn't it? What do we do? What is our way forward? The walking on the path. Anybody who walks on the spiritual path sincerely can be called a sadhak. What they do on the spiritual path becomes their sadhana. If they do it right, they can progress. If they don't, it's again a hindrance. So there are pitfalls everywhere. So it's not an easy route, but let us see what Krishna says. We go to the next sloka,
Eh,
39th one. Yes, Indraji is saying something. Yes, please.
ah, manchow soup, chicken.
No, no, that is not part of our Gita workshop as of now. We are thinking about controlling our desires of eating. Let's see. Avrattam jnanametena jnanino nityavairina kamarupena kaunteya dushpurena nalena cha. Knowledge is covered by this perennial enemy, even in the cases of the knowledgeable many. O Arjuna, such is desire's lustful form, which rages like a quenchless firestorm. I repeat once more. Knowledge is covered by this perennial enemy, even in the cases of the knowledgeable many. O Arjuna, such is desire's lustful form, which rages like a quenchless firestorm. It is like an inferno. It is burning continuously, which is never going to get satisfied. Desires also are not going to get satisfied, isn't it? I'll feel a restlessness that I will get something and then I'll feel happy. So till I get that, I will continuously be restless. But once I have received, I'm like, "Arey, maza nahi hai. I'm not experiencing the joy. I need something else, which will give me happiness." And then I'm running on to the next thing. And that is the way of this. And that is why knowledge, our wisdom, our understanding, our realizations, everything are covered by this. Even in the case of the wisest of wise. There is a beautiful verse in the Ishopanishad only, which says, Hiranmayena patrena satyasyapi hitam mukham tattvam pushanam apavrano satya dharmaya drishtai. This is said by a wise awakened seer. What is he saying? He says, Hiranmayena patrena, meaning a golden vessel. Satyasyapi hitam mukham. The truth is covered by a golden lid. Its truth is like in a vessel and it is covered by a lid which is golden. We've heard of this phrase, isn't it? All that glitters is not gold. Well, something like that. Even the truth is sometimes covered by this golden lid. And that Rishi, who is already a Vedantic seer, he recognizes that he is not powerful enough to break that lid. So he calls upon the divine strength. Divine Bhagavan here is Pushan, the nourisher of all living beings. Tattvam Pushanam Apavruno Satya Dharmaya Drishtaye. Please, O Pushan, break this lid, so truth can become clear to me. I can understand what is my Satya Dharma. May I understand what is truth. May I walk on the right path. If you want to walk on the right path, the path must at least be visible, or you must at least understand which is the path to choose, isn't it? For that, again, grace is needed, and for that, knowledge, you have to control your desires and anger, otherwise, you will not receive it. You will be running after it, and that fire will burn us. We will run out of life energy. We will run out of time, and yet we will not experience what is the tripti or satisfaction of life. So, for that reason, we should be alert. Krishna clearly says desires don't get over. Anybody can tell me any desire which is going to completely get over and give you satisfaction. Anyone? No, isn't it? This is the very strange thing of desire. So if we understand that this is itself a trap, don't get into the loop only, no? Just walk out of that loop. Try to pull yourself out of the loop. You have to keep trying because it is the nature. It is the nature which is going to keep pushing you there, whether you like it or not, this way or that way. You say, I don't like, I'm not after money. Suddenly, you are such a nice person. You are not after money. Yes, yes, I know, I'm a nice person. Not money, but some other attachment to appreciation, attachment to praise, attachment to fame. Another says, I don't need bad name, but I want things to go right. So then slowly it becomes control. One after the other, there are so many encircling us continuously. Only way you can do is you can just go one step back. Okay, right. One trap here, another trap here. Let me just. Oh, I don't want to step on the landmines. I'll walk carefully. You can do that only when you're detached. If you're running after desires, you have nothing to protect you. You're going to be running after all these desires, which are just going to ultimately burn you, is what Krishna says. Let us see further. Because there is a need for transcending the desires, because there is a knowledge that is waiting for us, a knowledge which is beyond the desires, a knowledge, an understanding, an experience that is suprasensory. There is like even one Dr. Atulji from I think a very prestigious college. He had joined a session and he said in medical terminology there is Dr. Atul Murari, his name is. He had said that there is something called extrasensory perception, which is accepted even in medical terminology. There is something beyond senses. You can't fully understand, you cannot fully experience it just through this dream of the sense. They are given that name to it. Maybe somebody else will give another name. But whatever it is there. It is there for us to experience. Let us try to experience that. Then only it is worth. And that is why Krishna is trying to tell us, come on, change your aspiration. Don't run after a lower. They say no, low aim is a crime. So don't try to aim to get trapped into desires. Instead, try to take the experience of what is a divinity. Let us go on further. 40th shloka, Krishna says, Indriyani mano buddhir asya adhisthana muchyate eter vimohayatyesha jnanamavritya dehinam. It is said, if senses occupy the governing seat, the mind and the intellect, the desires can cheat. We all are proud of our minds many times. Hey, my mind is so good, so strong, it can do so many things. Everything I think, so I am, is what people say, isn't it? I have such capacities, mental prowess. Then there is something called intelligence, a buddhi, another nice word from Sanskrit. So, mana and buddhi, these are said to be the greatest weapons of human beings, which can allow a human being to do remarkable things. But if senses are occupying the governing seat, if senses are driving you, it is said if senses occupy the governing seat, the mind and the intellect, desires can cheat easily your mind and your desire and your intellect, no matter how great your intellect is, no matter how strong or how perfect your mind is. If desires are there in your driving seat of life, that is it. They can cheat these two. Knowledge is bewildered by sensual stimulants, and hoodwinked become the two instruments. Such a person becomes what we say mohit. Mohit. He becomes caught. He is trapped in an illusion created by these senses which are driving the mind and the intellect. Like, say, if I'm in a cage, when will I escape? The moment I realize I'm in a cage, I'll say, hey, I want to escape, isn't it? But what if I am in a cage? Say a younger generation is said, you sit in this place. You're going to be given free Wi-Fi. You're going to be given free food. Say, I don't need to go out at all. This is not cage. My entire life I can spend here. You're going to, as long as you give me these two things, I will not leave this place at all. But isn't that a trap? Even if you leave the door open, that individual is not going to leave it because the person is hoodwinked. The person is under a delusion, thinking that this is everything, this is life, this is my entire experience. So many times people decide, isn't it? You are capable only of this. Somebody says that and draws a line around us, and we accept that line. What happens then? We can never transcend it because in our mind we have got convinced that I am so and so, I am only capable of this much. This person has said it, and I give authority to that person. This is exactly what happens when desire, some desire or the other, drives a person. Mana and buddhi are taken for a ride. And when mana and buddhi are taken for a ride, well, they become, a man is hoodwinked completely because they are stimulated by the senses. And the senses prevent them from functioning well. A simpler analogy would be how many of any participants have gone and given any presentations and in some workshops in a foreign city? Yes, anybody, if you can just share something about your experience. Anybody, if you have given just a general anything about that. What do you do to prepare for it and how do you give it? Something about it in a line or two. Any, it could be on any topic. Yes, anybody? What are the steps? Yes, please. Anyone? Hey, Kunalji, yes, sir.
I mean, you try and try to understand the audience a little better,
Yes. Yes.
because like you may say something which is okay in a Mumbai setting, but it may not necessarily be okay in a London
Yes.
sort of a setting. So try and
Okay.
understand local
The audience.
sensibilities. Yes.
Yes. And what are you going to present to prepare something for it, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then if you have a venue, what do you do about the venue? If you will try to find a venue close to your presentation place, isn't it? You would
Correct.
rather not want to go
To travel
opposite.
too much.
Yeah.
Yes.
Imagine if you have just, yes, sir, that is exactly what I wanted to know. But now imagine you have done everything right. You have studied your audience well. You have readied your presentation. You have got an extra backup in cloud, backup in your drive also in your, and everything. And venue is so close, just 10 minutes away. Only you have made a small mistake. You have chosen a useless driver to take you to that venue. You just tell the driver, go right. He says, I'll go left. He says, no, no, I went right, but he goes further left. What's going to happen? What will happen to all the presentation, all the preparation?
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
yeah, you'll go crazy.
It'll go in vain, isn't it? Nobody is going to, my time is there for presentation. I have to arrive there and I'm not able to arrive at that particular time because the driver is just crazy. Driver is not functioning according to what I am telling. This is what happens to individuals who are driven by senses. Their mind is strong, they have good intellect, but the senses just drive them away. It's like giving the reins to a wrong driver. We should allow, if we want a good driver, it's best Krishna Arpanam, Sarathi, please take me. I'm having no problem. I'll sit down, no problem. I will not speak a word. I know you can take well. But if we give it in the wrong hands, it becomes a great liability or vulnerability. That's what Krishna is saying. A person can be completely, it does not matter how smart you are, it does not matter you know, how mentally strong. Some people have abilities to. I know a person who sat for meditation. That person was annoyed. First thing is when I'm annoyed, I find it difficult to meditate. I have to first lose the annoyance and then I can enter into meditation. But this person in annoyance was sitting in one room for nearly 8 hours, just meditating, not taking anything, no food. Food was just, that's all. There was no reaction, and that person was able to do it. But it does not matter, no matter how great mental prowess you have. Your intelligence also doesn't matter if you are being driven by lower desires. That is why our Hanuman is given a great, one of the greatest examples, not only for bhakti, but for self-control also. Because he had no self-control as a kid, isn't it? As a child, he had all the strength, all the power. He was going to go and eat the sun only. That was the power of this young Rudra. And then he got a curse. The curse was you will lose all the powers that you have. And he then again gained it. How did he gain it? How did he undo a curse? Generally, it is according to the legends. The curses are put once, they are permanent for that birth. Well, it was by his self control. All the siddhis came back to him only because he had attained this great self control. That is why the beautiful verse is there. It's in Even the Ram Raksha. Manojabamma Rututulya Vegam Jitendriyam Buddhimatam Varishtham Vatatmajam Vanariyam Mukhyam Sri Ramadutam Sharanam Prapadde. We bow to him, that one who is so fast, faster than the mind also. He goes faster than that. And how is he? Jitendra, he is the one who has conquered his senses. And because he has conquered his senses, he has become Buddhimatam Varishtham. Meaning, we conquer our senses, we will become smarter than the smartest. But first is conquering the senses. That is why we must recognize which battle we have to fight first. Arjuna is worrying about something else. He's looking at Duryodhana, he's looking at all the other people, all the other weapons. But that fight is already lost because he has lost the fight inside, isn't it? So the first fight is always the battle on the inside, and that has to be won. And for that, recognize your enemies. These are the two enemies, is what Krishna is saying. He goes on further. He says, Tasmatvam Indriyani Adau Niyamya Bharatarshapha Papmanam Prajahiyenam Jnana Vijnana Nashanam. Therefore, know this, O mighty seeker of light. Taming the senses is your first fight. Slay the forces that proliferate the sin. These destroyers of knowledge conquer and win. So Krishna is saying, even if they are Nitya Vairi, they can be conquered. Maybe you cannot destroy them, but you can subdue them completely. They can become under your control. It's like, therefore, know this, O mighty seeker of light. Taming the senses is your first fight. Slay the forces that proliferate the sin, these destroyers of knowledge, conquer and win. So the first fight, I think, for everybody, just not just Arjuna, for all of us, is to win this fight of our senses. Let's not become so disturbed because of some input of our senses, isn't it? We see somebody close to us doing something we don't like. What happens? I need to take a tablet. I want to reduce my anxiety now. I can't control. I see this person did like this. You're too Brutus. No, it's all right. Let it be. Let it be. Let us not get so disturbed by what our eyes see. Or let us not suddenly. And nowadays, we have audio recordings. So even if you don't see audio messages of someone, this person told like this about me, or this news has come which is going to shake. Suddenly, somebody gets some news. Nowadays, the world is so flexible and so funny and dynamic that war is going to take place. No, it's not taking place, but it's taking place, but it's not taking place. How many times are we going to keep jumping according to markets are changing, everybody's changing, and how much are we going to change? Are we going to have some stability or we are just going to keep fluctuating? Like that, every single sense can disturb us, and that's why we have to win this battle. That is why we have to become very strong. That is what Krishna is saying because this is the fight. You win this fight, you have won every other fight. Arjuna had to first win the inner battle. Then Kurukshetra was nothing. Kurukshetra was nothing if Arjuna became that Jitendra. That was where the problem was. Arjuna was not, because of his attachments, he was still lost in his senses only, and he was not able to tame them. So that's why he was giving all these Delulu ideologies of what's going to happen and all. So let's continue. Now comes the interesting architecture. It is a beautiful, kind of sneak peek to us to a world which is beyond the mind. This is a wonderful shloka. This is a shloka which is very nicely talking to us about layers of consciousness. In the Upanishads, we hear about it. There are yogis who have talked about it. There are different stages. Here we see four stages. Indriyani paranyahur. Indriyebhyaha param manaha. Manasastu parabuddher. Yo buddhehe paratastu saha. I repeat it once more. Indriyani paranyahur. Indriyebhyaha param manaha. Manasastu parabuddhe. Yo buddhehe paratastu saha. Beyond the senses that are supreme is the mind. Beyond the mind, the awakened intelligence you find. But beyond the awakened intelligence, it is thus said, it is He, the eternal Self, the Supreme Godhead. I'll repeat this once more and we'll look at it. Beyond the senses that are supreme is the mind. Beyond the mind, the awakened intelligence you find. But beyond the awakened intelligence, it is thus said, it is He, the eternal Self, the Supreme Godhead. The first stage of consciousness is what? Is the sense-bound consciousness, isn't it? What we sense. A lot of people think this is everything. The sensual world is only everything. There's nothing beyond the senses. But we know, isn't it? There are limitations of our senses. Many times, what we hear is also not everything. Sometimes what we see, our eyes can deceive us. We've heard that story or not? Even whether we can see, and there's limitation to our ability to see. We can't see infrared, but does not mean infrared region is not there in the world. Ultraviolet, invisible to us because that's not there. Same with the sounds, infrasonic and ultrasonic. Same with the touch. I can touch and feel up to a particular level that my receptors can receive, isn't it? But there is a world beyond my senses. So though I feel senses only give me life experience, senses are everything, they are limited. How do you go beyond the senses? Anybody? How can you control? What is the stage beyond the senses? How do we control our senses in our everyday life? What do we use? What is that tool that man has been blessed with? How do we control our senses?
Through
With
our mind, through our mind
through a
and thought.
mind, through a mind, isn't it? Mana is the what we call Indra for the Indriyas. Mind decides. No, I want to eat this food. Mind says, no, you're on a journey to lose some calories. I'm not going to let you. If your mind has control, your mind can establish a what we can say adhipatya over the sensory world. With your mind, you can choose to not be disturbed by the senses. With your mind, you can even transcend your senses. With mind, you can learn how to bear some very difficult moments also. Even physical pain, people have learned to withstand and sometimes, transcend physical pain as well, which is the power of the mind. So there is this mind. And how is the mind? Mind is brilliant. Mind can allow us to think so many things at one time. Some people have very strong abilities, like mind can process multiple points of information at the same time. It's like some people have difficulty because two minds are working in the wrong direction at one time. And then there are others who have got avadhana kala. They have practiced. It is also avadhan kala is not a inborn blessing. It is cultivated, and now some institutions are working to revive it. It's multiple points of concentration at same time. There is ashtavadhani. There is also shatavadhani. 10 subjects. It's like background. We have multiple tabs which are running at the same time, and yet you are not getting distracted from what you want to do. Each is taking. That is all possible. Mind allows you to travel to places where it's otherwise not possible just like that to travel. And we don't need visa, isn't it? And how fast does the mind travel? It travels faster than anything. And mind has decided, I want to do this, and man immediately is able to achieve certain things. It's almost a miracle. And yet, the Gita says that the brilliant mind is limited. Can someone tell me what is the limit of the mind?
Desire,
Yes, sir.
attachment are all felt by the mind.
Okay, so that is the lower limits of the mind. Desires, attachments easily attached. So that is one aspect. Like mind can pull us down also, isn't it, when it gets connected? But still, even that is a lower side, but there's a higher end, isn't it? Mind is the other end without desire attachment. How can we say mind is limited? What is the limitation of the mind?
The knowledge.
Our logic, isn't it? If you see my logic only, my mind is limited by its own logic. My mind is the Indra of the Indriyas. But again, mind is Raja of what? An infinite kingdom or a finite kingdom? It's a finite kingdom. Anjali ji is saying something. Yes, ji.
No, the question that you asked, what is the limit of the mind? I just wanted to
Yeah.
ask, is there a limit to the mind in the first place?
Yes, the Gita is telling us that because Gita has told that mind is really brilliant beyond the senses, beyond the indriyas. But there is something which is required in that mind. Otherwise, that mind is limited by itself. It's like the processor is receiving inputs from where? From the senses, no? So my experience, my life is governed by what experience I have had, isn't it? But when did I come into existence? I came into existence only in 1990. Before that, what was there? What experiences I did not have, what I did not read, what I do not know. There are so many cultures, so many things. I cannot process that, no? It is limited, isn't it, Anjali ji? My experiences are going to be biased by my own logic, by my own individual experiences, no?
Yes.
So that is a
Yes.
limitation of the mind.
Okay.
Mind is a great tool which can be used to rise higher also, but inherently mind is limited. I understand certain things. Maybe I can say I understand laws of thermodynamics. I have studied it. I had to study it twice. It was a very boring subject for me. But when I did it second time, I really did it well. But though I can claim I got full marks, can I say I understood the thermodynamic equations of the world, of the universe? No, it is far too complex. And there are things which mind alone cannot understand. We must recognize that there is something beyond the mind. That is being introduced as, in Gita, in simple words, as buddhi, an awakened intelligence, an awakening, a state of consciousness which is just not the mind, only beyond the mind. That is called buddhi, one awakened intelligence, which is connected to a higher realm of consciousness. But comes the biggest question, what on earth is this higher realm of consciousness? Already we think we are happy with us, most of us happy with senses. Some of us who are like, hey, I don't want to, I see these senses, they're not giving me the real satisfaction. I want to go somewhere. Let me at least understand. I will keep looking at things which are beyond senses from the mental consciousness. But there is something higher than the mental consciousness. What on earth could it be? Can we just hamper a guess? What can be this higher than mind?
Intuition.
Okay, that's
Intuition.
interesting. Shweta ji says intuition. Can you say something about it? What is that?
Because you sometimes wonder, no, it's beyond logic. It's like so a surety that you feel. You
Hmm.
can't make sense with your mind, but जैसे वो logic में नहीं बैठता. So then,
So
yeah, it
it
just
is
feels that it's come from a higher realm.
okay, something, some higher realm which is beyond our understanding of the mind, which is not bound by logic. Okay, let us look at this a bit more. Anybody has got such experience or anything about it? Intuition, how does it work? Is it really beyond logic? Anybody? Yes, Kunalji, yes, sir.
Yeah, sometimes you make decisions like what we call gut feeling.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, gut feeling.
So
It's
you
not
may
really requiring some Boolean logic that I did this, so I have to do this. It's sometimes completely out of the logic.
correct. You look at data, you look at numbers, but still you may not follow that. You may just go with, what the gut says, right?
Yes,
So to speak.
yes.
So it's difficult to explain what that
Okay.
is or how do you get that
It's a
ability.
state. No, it's a state. No, when you connect, you get experience. So that experience comes to you when you, it's like you've connected to some kind of some frequency which is giving you something and then you work on it.
Right.
Sometimes
And
intuition also
yeah.
works. Intuition also works.
Yes, Saritaji, intuition also works that way, isn't it? You know, there's like these are experiences. This is like that. Like this, there is also one more experience of what we call clairvoyance, also some kind of understanding of some things which are yet to occur. It becomes crazy. How did you get it? How did anyone? Nobody gets to understand. There are realms which we don't understand. Abaji also share something. Yes, please. Is it? All right.
Sometimes we talk
Yeah.
about sometimes we
Sorry.
sometimes we talk about telepathy, experience of telepathy. We say it's a
Okay,
telepathy.
telepathic
I was
experience also sometimes. Yes, yes, yes. Uh, a lot of poets, poetry, they suddenly get inspiration, isn't it? From where? How? Amita ji wants to say something. Yes, please.
Yeah, some people are born with this extra that thing, and some people can cultivate, like yogis and all, can achieve this higher intuition through
It is
practices. And some people
cultivable.
are inborn, like, they have it already when they're born.
But even those who are inborn, they have to work on it, isn't it?
Yes, yes,
To make it a little, otherwise it becomes complicated. It becomes
yes.
difficult
You
to
lose
handle.
it. You lose it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You lose it as well.
Kunal ji saying something. Yes.
Yeah, it's also for like creative people, for example, right? Like music directors, actors, etc. Right? Like people who work on creativity. So you often hear that, I need to get into the zone or like,
Yes. The
I need,
flow state, they say.
yeah,
The flow
exactly.
state has to come to me. Different words are used by different people.
Yeah,
Many times, some really great ones have said, I don't know what happened at night. I just got the tune in my, it came from somewhere.
it came from
They
somewhere.
say, I didn't make it. It
Yeah.
happened to me.
Yeah, state of
This is,
trance.
yes, yes, yes. And then about the Kavi in Hindi, it is said, Jo na dekhe Ravi, wo dekhe Kavi. Where the light of the sun is not reaching there, Kavi is there. And Kavi is a beautiful word in the Rig Veda. There's the first the poet is there, mention of the seer. That is the one who is able to get that direction. So this is a higher state, a higher state. One participant shared a beautiful experience about intuition. Viniji, she said she worked in a cafe in Pondicherry only. So she said it was her everyday routine. She would after work she would come home. When she comes home, she would chill out a bit and she would watch one particular serial on the TV. That was her everyday routine. And at that time, as she was watching, her neighbor would go and she would see the neighbor going up the staircase. There would be sometimes greeting, sometimes no greeting, but that she would see. And she was very sure of this routine because that was her chill out routine every day. Very disciplined. She was doing that. Well, suddenly one day, as everything was normal, there was nothing out of the extraordinary or something different. Same thing was going on, and suddenly she got a urge after her neighbor went. She said, just go check on him. One thought came from somewhere. She was, she thought, huh, I want to watch my serial. I'm not going. She did not listen to it. But that pricked her, not once, not twice. It happened 3 times that she got so irritated. Fine, let me just go. I can at least watch my serial in peace. She turned off the TV and went out. She found her neighbor had collapsed. And because she saw that she could call the ambulance and neighbor was taken in time, the doctor says, thank you, you brought for him in time, otherwise it would have been too late. And she said, I shudder to think what would have happened if I had not. And she said, I still don't know from where it came. So intuition can come to anybody at any time also. A doctor, anesthetist, she was like a resident. She shared her experience where one sudden flash of thought made her do a particular test which was not prescribed only. It was so much that all the seniors were already there. They are doing their investigations. They were not getting the diagnosis only. Without diagnosis, where is the treatment going to take place? So everybody is working and the time is ticking. She thought if I go and directly tell the senior, he's going to blast me because nowhere in the protocol this test is necessary. So she went to the technician and made a request. It's on me, but please go and do this test. I'm asking you, please do it. Please do this test, is what she said. He says, till date, I don't know why I asked him to do that test. Logic does not tell it's needed, but somehow that thought came and I should do it. And she said that test gave a result, and that immediately helped in diagnosis. Later, she was appreciated. But she says, I still don't know the logic. So this is where there's a world, there is a dream, there's an experience which is beyond the logic. Let's just call it a dream of an awakened buddhi, awakened intelligence. In the Isha Upanishad, there are 4 states. Kavi, Manishi, Paribhu, and Swayambhu. Similar to 4 stages are mentioned here. So this is the third stage. And we look at the Isha Upanishad verse a little after completing this Adhyaya, one more shloka. Then we'll look at. Anjali, you wants to ask something? Yes, please.
No, I was wondering whether intuition comes with age, because I've never had this before, but lately I find myself getting this kind of, some a sudden feeling that tells me, no, something's wrong's going to happen, or this might happen. Like recently, I've had several instances now,
Okay.
but if I could
Okay.
just quote one incident that happened a week
Okay.
ago.
Yes, Ji.
When a colleague of mine had parked his bike in front of my vehicle, I asked him, aren't you locking your vehicle? So he said, no, because somebody might want to shift it, move it to park his vehicle. So I never lock my vehicle, I leave it there. It was a bike. So he said, I just leave it there. I said, I don't want to take the risk because I lost my vehicle once. And we went
Yeah.
in, and that evening when he came back from work, his bike was missing. So,
Okay.
I just asked him, and somebody had
Mhm.
stolen it. So I just asked
Okay.
him, are you sure you want to leave it there? Why don't you lock it? And another
Yes.
day, like, you know how in Kerala we've been having these floods and heavy rains,
Yes.
torrential rains and all that. So when the collector declares it a holiday, the teachers or the students are not expected to go to their respective institutions. But one
Yes.
particular day, we teachers were asked to go to the institution for some work. The students could stay back and attend online classes. So, and we used to do it. We used to follow the
Right.
instructions of the management. But that
Yes,
particular
yes.
day, when they asked us to go, I called up the coordinator and asked him, "Are you sure you want all of us to come? Because when the collector declares it a holiday, we are not expected to go for safety reasons. So
Yes.
isn't our safety equally important?" So he told me, "Yeah, I didn't give it a serious thought. Yeah, maybe you can stay back and not come today." And that very morning, a part of the building, a portion of the roof, in fact, where the teachers or where the staff sits, the staff room, a
Wow.
part of the staff room had collapsed. And if we
We,
were there, it would have fallen right on our head.
oh
And
my
they would have
God.
been
Yes.
answerable. So these kind of instances, I just
Yes.
felt it probably
Yes.
comes with it because my mother also had very similar experiences.
Wow. Yes.
So
That's true. That's true. It comes more with awakening than with age only,
yeah,
Anjali
maybe
ji.
awakening, especially after
Yes,
attending the Gita
because
classes.
see, it is a true thing that sometimes young age also people get this. So it is basically when we are calm and we are out of the realm of the senses, when we are
Yeah,
out of the realm of our mind also, meaning we are willing to accept things which are beyond the mind, then you are more receptive to such an experience.
okay. Okay.
Then it becomes
Yes.
very interesting, isn't it? I'm
Yes.
going to get experiences, then I can see future, I can get some glimpse, and I can start predicting what stocks to buy. What happens? Individuals get lost in that. So that is why the Gita is telling here something that's not everything. But beyond the awakened intelligence, it is the said, it is He, the eternal self, the supreme Godhead, meaning there is Saha. Saha is a simple word in Sanskrit. Saha means He. But who is he? That is a big question. But when you understand, you will say, Tattvamasi, that is the Brahman, that is the divine. Soham, all those experiences are of Saha only. What is that? That is the experience that is to be had. And so that is greater than your intuition also. So don't get lost in the world of intuition. Don't get lost in the experiences beyond the mind. Experience the highest, that is the supreme divine. That is what Krishna is talking about. And we will look at just one more shloka and then we'll just look at the four stages, which I feel they are very similar in the Isha Upanishad of Kavi, Manishi, Paribhu, and Swayam. But basically, if you look at the four levels in the Gita, it is first the realm of the senses. Yes, they are. It's good. You have to be active. You have to understand. If you're will become what we call senseless, isn't it? If you're not aware. So senses are important. Yet higher than senses, there is something which is the mind. Higher than mind is that buddhi which is higher. But remember, highest of all is that. What is that? That has to be experienced. That is the supreme divine, the highest consciousness. That is something which cannot be forgotten. If we realize that, we will remain grounded no matter what experience we get. We don't certainly will not think that we are now everything. There's always good to know somebody is there better than us, isn't it? It's always, it keeps us grounded, it keeps us humble, and let us not get carried away because that experience is the one which we all have to take. It's actually the reason we are all born for, to get that supreme experience. Let's see. Krishna goes on. एवं बुद्धेः परं बुद्ध्वा संस्तभ्यात्मानमात्मना जहे शत्रु महाबाहो कामरूपम दुरासदम्. With this knowledge of the Supreme Self, assailing your mind and intellect, gather yourself. O mighty armed one, this formidable enemy you must slay, destroy desire, for truth's light to make way. Again, Krishna is reminding Arjuna, why has he given this wisdom to him? Why has he given this knowledge? He says, remember, equip yourself with this knowledge. Make yourself conscious of this at least. With this knowledge of the Supreme Self, meaning the highest is there, which is beyond all of these experiences. Gather your mind, gather your intellect. O mighty armed one, this formidable enemy you must slay. Which is this enemy you have to slay? He says, destroy desire. Only then truth's light will make way. If you do not destroy desire, truth cannot be experienced. So with this, the Adhyaya number 3 comes to an end. We will just look at, if you're interested in this four states mentioned in the Isha Upanishad. There is the state of the Kavi, there is a state of the Manishi, there is a state of the Paribhu, and the fourth one is called Swayambhu. These are levels of consciousness which have been already organized. We can say, how do we, if we just want to look at it in a simpler way, Kavi can be seer. In regional languages, Kavi means poet, isn't it? But in Sanskrit, Kavi means is also what they call drashta, the seer who's able to see, who's able to witness, who's able to understand things. So we can call that glimpses of intuition, isn't it? Somebody who is getting glimpses of intuition, that person can be called a Kavi, isn't it? But then there is a state which is higher. There's Manishi, more advanced. So such an individual may not be just getting what we can say glimpses. So almost like getting a full blueprint of things. Much better, isn't it? Blueprint than just glimpses. Now, anybody has done any construction in their life? Yes. Can someone tell me how useful is the blueprint for construction? Yes, Nidhi, you're saying something?
Without
Anybody?
without planning, no work can be done.
Okay,
Without
without
planning.
planning, no work can be done. All right. Yes. How many of you have made a blueprint and had to modify the blueprint while construction is going on? Why
Yes.
is it you're modifying? You have made a plan, a clear plan. Why is the blueprint being modified as the construction goes on?
Because it was not okayed by the DDA.
Yes, okay, it was not approved by the developmental authority. Okay, fine. Not approved for XYZ reason. But even after it has got approved, don't you know how many revisions are take place, isn't it?
Yeah.
Material rates change, other factors change. While you are manifesting the blueprint, the what we can say, so many global factors come into play to prevent that manifestation. Same is the case with that individual who has initially got glimpse. So great, with a glimpse, I've written a poem. What has that poem done? It has got a good, nice feeling, but beyond that, it's not brought much. So I'm trying to seek and get something better, and I got a blueprint. But I shouldn't start celebrating. Blueprint is not enough because manifesting that blueprint is going to make me lose all my hair. A lot of challenges. So that is the next stage, meaning the knowledge of bringing to manifestation what is there in the vision. That is the highest state. Kavi, Manishi, Paribhu. It's that individual not only is getting just glimpses of blueprint, but that individual has learned how to bring it into manifestation, bringing into what we call materialization of a vision, materialization of an idea, materialization of a concept. That is important. But yet there is one more stage where, which is the Swayambhu, meaning here there is a complete realization, meaning the origin only of ideas are not coming from elsewhere, it is from here only. I think we must have heard of a lot of Swayambhu Shivalingas, no? In different people. What is the meaning of that Swayambhu? Where has it come from?
Originates on
Self-generating.
him.
Yeah, yes, please. Any one person at a time? Sorry, who was saying? I think it was Kunalji.
Yeah, originating on its own.
Originating directly from the soil only, originating, something like that. Well, that will happen when you are in the highest state of consciousness, when you are in link or in sync with that supreme divine. And that is why we must forget everything else and realize that there is this supreme divine. We have to realize it. So with this, we are ready to conclude this session. Krishna is going to share some more things. He's talking a lot about divinity. So he's going to share about his metaphysical origin as well. He's going to share about things which are beyond the mind. He's going to say how the secret of life was passed on in the creation. My question is, how is Arjuna going to take it? Or imagine you are in Arjuna's place. Krishna says, I am going to give you the secret of creation of life. What will your reaction be? Or this knowledge, how was knowledge passed on from the beginning? The supreme, pure, finest knowledge. I'm going to give it to you. How will your reaction be? Anybody?
Arjuna will ask, how do you know?
Yes, exactly. I think Sarita ji has hit the nail exactly there. He's not going to be like, oh Krishna, so beautiful. He's going to be like, yeah, एक बार क्या शिष्यस्ते हम, I have said once, means you'll say anything and I'll listen. What's your logic? He is going to again question, and again we should be grateful. But Krishna is going to share some interesting metaphysical truth. The fourth Adhyaya is going to be more about knowledge, the Marga of Jnana. Why is it so brilliant? Why is it so pure? There's a beautiful shloka. Nahi jnanena sadrisham pavitram na vidyate. There's nothing more pure than brilliant than this, than the pure knowledge. Krishna is going to share it. Arjuna, I do not know. Is he going to keep it carefully or is going to just say, I don't need it? We will see. With this, we are concluding. If anybody wishes to share some take home points, anything you wish to add or share, you are welcome. Yes, please. Yeah, anybody?
So, Shriji, I would like to ask something.
Yeah, yes, you.
Um, the perennial question that we have all been asking ourselves, which you mentioned, agar tum ho to ye kyun ho? So I would
Ah,
like to ask you, after years of your research and the several discourses that you've been giving
years
on
of
Gita.
research and all, Anjali ji, I'm just
No,
starting.
no,
Yes,
no,
yes,
I
please.
would just like to
Yes.
know, have you found a satisfactory answer to this?
Yeah, it is there in the Gita only, no, Anjali ji. Krishna has told that there is, means there is divine also, there is demonic also, there is Devi Shakti, Asuri also in this world only. What we align with is our choice. People are aligning with Asuric forces, that is why it is more, it is causing chaos. And a lot of good people till now used to say, कि भगवान का नाम लेना है, I don't want to do anything in the world. So even money is evil. Money should not be touched. So all the good people remain poor. And the group of people who are hoarding the money are not using it for anything selfless. So then that is how it is there, but it has always been there like that. And this fight will be there. Like we are having a fight on the inside, no? Between our desires. There's this nature which is there. It is making, and in that also an evolution is taking place. If you see, our society has come forward, though we at times feel we have become more aggressive and more backward, but we have also moved ahead in so many ways. No king is going to suddenly feel, oh, my back is scratching. Come on, let me now take over that kingdom. At least now we have something like this an evolution from so many small kingdoms. We have become a Rashtra. We have a, we can say, one union of at least states. So it's not yet, we have not yet established that one union, but one evolution has taken place. We have what we call democracy. It took a lot of time for it to become this. It's not, it's still a work in progress. Maybe tomorrow we will understand what divinocracy is or something bigger. And beyond one world, it would become world union also possible. But it's a process, it's a part of the world, Anjali ji.
Yes.
I think it is
I'm
just,
still not
I do
convinced,
not
but
know if,
it's okay.
yes, ji?
I'm, I said I'm still not convinced, but it's okay. For the time being, I'll.
Okay, yeah, but what is the question then exactly? I'm sorry, I didn't understand it well then.
No,
Yes,
you
ji.
mentioned "अगर तुम हो तो ये क्यों हो?" This is a
So
question we
if
all
God
ask.
is there, why is there is distortion? There's distortion of the right. We will see a little bit later in the Gita about it's like a light which is passing through a prism. What happens to it? It bends, isn't it? So when this world was created, God has probably there's an intelligent design working something. We have not yet reached the exact culmination of what was the. It is the story is not over yet.
Okay.
It
Picture
is.
abhi baki.
Huh? Yes, yes, it is. It is. We'll have to see what is it. What if even we'll see Avatarhood also, but yet Avatarhood also is not yet complete. No, we don't know. We don't know what is going to be the next Avatar. It's going to be seen. We'll see that, but it's up to the individual. Swami Vivekananda got that answer, Anjali ji. That was a transcript. When he got the answer, he is not Narendra anymore. He became Swami Vivekananda.
Okay.
So you've got a question, Anjali ji, maybe you get the answer. I think you will also
Okay.
have full transformation, and I would request you to share it with all of us.
Sure, definitely sure.
Yes, see, already. Yes, anybody can share some take-home points that we can take with us.
I
Yes,
So,
have a question. Shruti.
yes. I'll just
Yes.
read out Muralidharji's, he's written a point. Our Nitya Vairis, mind's Nitya Vairis are there and mind has limitations. That is one takeaway point. So I said, thank you, sir, for sharing that. Payalji, yes, please.
Like what kind of desire it is if parents they have this desire for the children's success or a person longing for the welfare of the humanity. So what kind of desire?
Well, 1 minute. It is a quick, very long. I would like to just go a little bit slower. Desire of parents for?
For the success of their children
Yes.
and the desire of a person or a desire of a person for the welfare of the humanity. So what kind
Okay.
of desire it is? Is it selfish or selfless?
Lokasangraha, so far Krishna has told betterment of the world, isn't it? So that is
Yes.
not wrong. But only my child should lead to betterment of world and neighbor's child should not. That becomes swartha, isn't it?
No, only the thing is that parents
And
desire.
I want betterment of the world through my child. So my child must listen to me. That becomes again a kind of binding, no? Probably like aspiration. It is good. Parents can have aspirations, but can parents enforce their dreams on the children?
No.
No, I want to establish, I want to bring Lokasangra and my child gets inspired and follows that path. That would be more beautiful. That will be free, isn't it? There will not be any kind of imposition there. That would be the ideal thing. Many times, if parents want to cultivate good values in the children, better not send the children to different teachers, become the teacher at home, at least in some aspects. You can't become the teacher for everything. Children will search, but at least the base, some things which we like, even this Lokasangra is such a big, vast ideal. If you're really practicing it in your life, if you're living it, you're breathing it, you are practicing it, it will inspire. People will, it may take time. It may take time. We'll have to have the patience for the same. But
Uh,
when we
control the
control, yes, ji, please tell me, ji.
uh, will it control our other desires? Will it help in controlling our other desires also if we just go for lok sangraha?
Yes, actually, it is the sublimation of individual desire to a collective welfare. My dream, yes, it's important, but what is the necessity of for the world? If I can just focus on that more, I might not feel so bad about. Sometimes personal dreams don't get fulfilled, isn't it? But if we can sublimate that into an higher aspiration, it can help us definitely. Because otherwise, we
Thank
are
you.
still holding on to something, and actually, holding on to dreams also does not guarantee they get fulfilled. That's a problem. So anyway, it's not good, but we have to aspire. Yes, yeah.
Thank you
All
so
right.
much.
Thank you. Namaste. Yes, if there are any other takeaways anybody wishes to share, or we conclude with the Shanti mantra. Shweta ji, yes, please.
yeah, so for me, my take home or the reflection is about this destroying the desires, being detached, and yet earlier we had spoken about not living a life of dryness. So it's like that
Yes, yes,
balance, like that
yes.
balance. Like if I have a gulab jamun in my plate, I have to eat it, relish
You
it, and
relish
yet,
it.
yeah, and yet not think about it, or
Not
just
think
be
about the
detached
gulab jamuns in another
later.
plate or the ones which are not yet served to me.
Yeah,
It has
and
come
it's
to my
over.
plate. I should
Yeah,
be trupta.
and
Let
then
me
it's
enjoy what has come to me. That is the Isha Upanishad also. Isha Vasyam Idam Sarvam. All the gulab jamuns belong to the divine, big
yeah.
or small.
So it
Yat
ends
kincha
there.
jagatyam
Yeah.
jagat. Tena tyaktena bhunjita. The word is beautiful. Tena tyaktena bhunjita, meaning sacrifice and take bhoga also. Bhunjita. Bhunjita what? Enjoy the sacrifice. Chalo, theek hai, I didn't get those 20 gulab jamuns there in that bowl, but I got one. Let me imagine I'm eating 20 and take the full rasa of that one.
Mm,
Ma
mm,
grudha kasyas with dhanam. don't steal somebody else's wealth or even gulab jamuns. That's what the Isha verse is telling us. So the joy must be there. It's like growing a tree, no? A plant also in a pot. You may have the
Yeah.
most fertile soil, but if there's no water, it's too dry, the plant cannot grow. But you are now very excited because you really want that plant to grow quickly and you put too much water. That will again fill all the air spaces in the soil also with water, and it will again make the soil too damp for the plant and ultimately destroy the plant. So it has to be just the right one. The moisture should be there in the soil and then it will grow on its own. Like that in our life also. We can't be dry. If knowledge is making us dry, just understand this tree of knowledge is going to not grow at all. In same way, we cannot get so lost that we're not. It's like a very beautiful middle point which we have to find. That can be got through practice actually.
Yeah,
And for that, we
also,
have to be calm.
yeah.
And then, yes, Yashvita yes,
No,
please.
so I just felt just now that it also is a beautiful expression of being in the now. You know, like
Yes,
just
yes,
all the time being presence, being in the now, in the
yes,
now. Yeah,
yes,
so
yes.
yeah.
Yes, becoming conscious of the
Mm.
present. You can actually feel so much if you're having gratitude also. Immediately, you will desires will disappear with gratitude also. Okay, wow, I got so much. And yes, me. Best prayer instead of I want this, I want that, I want this. Thank you. Thank you for what? Thank you for the slap I got. Thank you for the
Yeah.
promotion I got. Thank you for the time I rose. Thank you for the time I fall because I get the experience of life and I grow because of it. It's coming from you. You slapped me, so I'm going to take you to task later. But it's okay. You gave me the gift also. So again, whatever it is, it's like I think Shwetaji said, becoming more aware of this moment. Psychology, they call dispositional mindfulness, something which is integrated into your personality. That would make a big difference. Yes, Ji. So I think with this, we are ready to conclude unless anybody wishes to share something. Let's conclude with the Shanti Mantra. Hari Om. सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् हरि ओम तत्सत् विष्णु वन्दे जगद्गुरु नमस्कार पुनर्मिलामः we'll see you tomorrow
Thank you,
Hari
namaskar
Om.
Shishti.
thank you
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hari Om.
namaskar thank you